So I have not posted in a very long time, and that's because we have been grieving the loss of our flock. They ended up getting a respiratory disease and all had to be put down at the same time. It was very traumatic for our family, and we're still really missing them. Thankfully, we had our 4 little Easter eggers in the garage, and we have just moved them outside. But they cannot go where our normal chicken run is because it's still contaminated and will remain contaminated for another 3 months. So it makes it very hard. So we have this little makeshift area with a bunny house that they're living in for the moment. They get to move in a month and a half because we're about halfway through this now. Yeah, it was just very sad. Unfortunately, the respiratory disease would have continued to pass on to other animals, and we have a lot of wildlife out here. I'm sure that's where they got it from because I allow mine to free range, and their cage is their chicken run is open toward the top, so birds could fly in and get their water and their food. So I will be making a new way of doing that so they can't get into their food or water. We had some that were 6 years old, which is a good life for a chicken on a farm, all the way down to 3 months. The 3 months were probably the hardest ones to do by far. They just barely started showing symptoms and they're just so young. And we had some rare breeds, and we had finally collected this flock and spaced out their ages so then they would continue laying. So when we found out our chickens got the respiratory disease, what had happened is a couple of them just were very lethargic, stopped eating and drinking. So we kept an eye on them, gave them electrolytes, vitamin B12, which I've heard is like a miracle for chickens. Then they started sneezing and would not come out of the coop. They also were like having mucus come out of their nose nonstop. And they were having facial swelling, mainly around the eyes and the comb. It got pretty bad and very sad to see. When we ended up processing them, they, once we found out what it was and we found out we had to put them down, we put them in the hug cones and stuff, and a couple of them, nothing but pus came out. I mean, the poor things were, I'm guessing, septic or something. It was really sad. So definitely the right thing to do, but very hard for all you chicken owners. I'm sure you can relate. They become part of your family. We do have birds we process here, but it's a different mindset. You know those birds are going to be meat and be eaten. It's hard when it's your egg-laying flock. They have names, they have personalities. So after we had to put down our flock, definitely took a week off and just grieved the loss of our entire flock. And then it's time to clean. So this respiratory disease is, I guess, very hardy and likes to hang on really tight. So we had to bleach everything, and we have to let the ground sit for 3 months. And that's because it will actually come out through their feces and get down into the dirt and hang on in there through some of winter, and then it will continue to spread to other birds, and we just don't want that to continue. So we have taken a lot of precautions. Our little ones are down over with our dogs, which is not ideal, but we have to do what we gotta do to make it work. We had them prior to this outbreak. In the spring we plan to get a whole new flock. So we're gonna order 25 birds that are all egg layers and unique breeds. We're super excited about that. It's just hard when you're missing your original flock. We're also going to be doing our meat birds as well. So we'll have probably around 50 chicks at once, which I have not done. The most I've had at once is 25, and that was a lot. I don't know how people do it. So it'll be a fun adventure. I'll definitely document it and post it. And I will post and share more videos of our little Easter eggers. They're starting to get their personalities and turn out to be such fun little birds. I gotta say, the Easter eggers I've never had before. Super social birds. They're really cute and sweet. I love it. So we have a little area back here that our dogs are kind of fenced in, so then they can't just run off on other people's property and stuff. But this is the little bunny house they're in. Here's my little chicks. We are so thankful we didn't lose them. We were able to keep them. Feel kind of bad that they're stuck back here and in this tiny little cage. So we do let them out of the little house, but we keep it supervised just because they're in our dog area. And because we can fly out of the top. There's no roof to this chicken run. But, so they get out at least once a day and get to run around in there. They're a little skittish about it. They don't know what to think when they are out. They seem to be liking it a little more, so that's good. The only place that our regular flock did not go on our property. So this is where they're gonna have to stay for now.